Podcast. This is one of your hosts, Rob, and joining me this week is Patrick, as soloing as my co-host, and special guest Adam B, bringing it to the table as always. What's up, guys?
Hey,
Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah, we're glad to have you as always. I'm glad you keep coming back to this thing. It's always fun to have your opinions on the podcast, and we love having you around, man. Unfortunately, our third had to go and have a birthday this weekend, so he has to go spend time with family, quote unquote, whatever that means.
he's posting
So
pics all over the Alamo right now. What the heck?
yeah, he's it looks like he's having a good time though, right? I haven't really
Yeah,
talked to him. I
Yeah,
kind of just want to leave him alone.
I think he just
Um,
didn't want to watch this movie. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, that
he
could be
loves
it.
this movie.
No, yeah. Mm, I don't know. I don't know. I've never talked to him about this movie at all. This movie is kind of one that I've always known about, but have never watched until it was Epic's pick. So, Epic, you want to go over the title and the synopsis of the movie?
Yeah. So my pick this week was Up in the Air with George Clooney, which is basically a movie that follows this gentleman named Ryan Bingham around corporate downsizing. You know, he's one of what we like to call a frequent flyer, a warrior, travel warrior. So he's always on the road, flying from business to business, shutting them down or downsizing their people, the firing them, or
Hmm. Yeah,
but he
basically
has a really
firing
good,
people. And I'm
yeah, yeah.
really disappointed that you just said George Clooney and not my girlfriend.
Okay, well, I was getting to that,
Oh,
but
okay.
so like people don't like to skip ahead here, but so Ryan Bingham's flying around doing his thing, and his whole world gets shaken up by what we like to call a industry outsider who comes in, a new hire, Anna Kendrick, and basically proposes firing people over the internet via voice and or via Snapchat or whatever
So
video.
what was the what timeline, like where in the world history did this fit in? Like early 90s or
No, this is late '90s. I would say
we di-
2009, so like
we weren't firing
2010.
people over the internet in late 90s?
Not
It's
generally, no. We did it in
it's
Hmm.
person, like real people.
it's based on a book that was written in 2001, but the
Oh,
movie
okay.
itself came out in 2009. And in both of those timelines, a lot of the video streaming chat services were the technology couldn't support a lot of that
Okay.
on
Yeah,
a mass scale, so it makes sense.
it was a
Okay.
Skype, and I think that was pretty much the big
Ooh,
one, right?
too soon, bro. R.I.P. Skype.
Pour one
R.I.P.
out.
It went down this week, right? Like it would, or did it merged with something else?
It was bought a long time ago, and they finally closed it, I think,
Okay. I
or the
mean,
Meets or something like that.
Skype used to be the big one, right?
Yeah. So
It
What
Skype was
is.
huge, got bought by Microsoft, I believe, and then Microsoft just combined it with Teams, and that's all she wrote.
Teams is awful. I hate
Oh.
Teams. What? Not to get too off topic, but what do you think the downfall of Skype was? Because that for a long time that was it.
To me, it was lack of innovation and basically get selling to Microsoft.
Okay,
So they wanted money, they sold out to Microsoft. Microsoft didn't develop the product, kind of like what Google does with a lot of things. So
okay.
And
Well,
and
I still
COVID.
call. Oh, yeah, but that was like their time to capitalize where Zoom did, right? Like Zoom
Right.
capitalized, and that's
Yeah.
all you hear now.
yep.
Zoom came in, so Skype is just not that great of a product at the point of COVID. And so people are like, "Oh, let's, massive need for video conferencing software." And everyone, "Oh, Skype's the one." So you go to that, and compared to what Zoom was offering as far as features, it just
Mhm.
paled in comparison. So everybody jumped on Zoom, and that Zoom at that point became the the name synonymous with video chat. Where it was
Okay.
Skype before, now it's Zoom.
And I also think it's kind of like a product of how old you are too, because like when I still say like video chat and stuff, I'll stay Skype once in a while just because that's what I was used to.
Yeah.
Um, when I would have my internet girlfriends from World of Warcraft and meet them in online video chats and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, but then things now, like even Zoom is kind of dying out, right? Because you like they're not innovating either.
I don't know, man. All I can tell you is I use Google Meets, and
You know.
and most of the people use Teams. So
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Adam, you wanna go first on the movie, seeing as how you're solo childing this weekend?
Yeah, so this movie to me is, I would say, like a 6 out of 10 slices. But I'm also nibbling at the toppings of the next slice. Not eating it, but the flavor was so good, I just want a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I love this concept of the main character. He has this philosophy of what's in your backpack and trying to unencumber yourself from not only physical attachments like things, items, but also personal relationships, he says, are part of the backpack that you can narrow down. It's almost like this extreme minimalism that he lives by. And it becomes this theme throughout the movie where he uses his globetrotting, travel warrior status to avoid being in actual relationship with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wish the movie explored more of, like, why he chose to do that. Like, it's like, who hurt you?
And I can also see, just to interject there real quick, I can see a lot of comparisons on why this is one of Epic's favorite movies, is because, I see a lot of this in him too, and what he does. And, it's so hard to have personal relationships with people when you're doing that, I think, right? Because you're always gone.
well, yeah, but save me some thunder here, buddy.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
So yeah, I'm not gonna go super deep into all of the stuff that I loved about this, because I am really, knowing Epic and knowing what he does for work and all of that, I'm very interested to hear more from his side. But for me, it's such a great take on not only a snapshot. This came out in 2009, and unintentionally, it came out right around the recession, so it was just so well timed.
Mm-hmm.
But just all that this movie has to say about living in a liminal space, which is what airports and airplanes are. They're liminal spaces. They're spaces of transition with unattachment, and that's why he's so, like, he lives there,
Mhm.
basically, is what he's saying, in this place of unencumbered unattachment. But, like, what this movie has to say about whether or not, that's fulfilling, or, like, it's all about what is fulfilling in life to people. So I just like what this movie has to say about that. And to me, the non-starring slash supporting MVP, like the random character that is, just stole the scene, to me, was the J.K. Simmons scene. In the towards the beginning of the movie, where he's showing her the ropes, Anna Kendrick's character, and that's J.K. Simmons' character is the one who shows the picture of the kids. Um, he absolutely stole that scene. So to me, yeah, if you're watching that movie, watch out for that scene. And yeah, interested, Epic, in hearing more about what you have to say about this movie.
Oh, we'll relax right now with Epic, because I'm going before him, because I know his ass has got a lot to say about the movie. So, for me, it was going to be probably around same with Adam, 6.5 slices. Really enjoyed the movie. It's kind of one of those kind of feel good movies. At certain points, I guess, and I loved seeing the relationship with him and my significant other, Anna Kendrick, because you see she does come and like try to shake things up, right? But then at the end of the day, they kind of meet in the middle, right? Where she learns things from him and he learns things from her. And that's something that I preach in my job every day. I'm the head of a department, and I train my staff and hire and fire and all of that. And at the end of the day, anybody that I bring on board, I tell them we still have something to learn every day. And when we stop learning, kind of what's the point? I have learned something to learn from you guys. You have something to learn from me. And you really kind of see George Clooney transition into that mindset a little bit towards the end of the film. I'm a little disappointed in his romantic interest and how that turned out, but you could see that coming from a mile away, right?
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I did
yes.
not see that coming. The first time I watched this movie, like that scene and then the subsequent scene where he's like talking with her on the phone, she delivers one of the most devastating heartbreaker lines ever, but I'm not trying to
Mhm.
spoil that for anybody.
Sure.
What was the
But yeah,
line? What was the line that really got you that she said?
I mean, it's a
uh,
million-year-old movie, man. You're good.
yeah. So when he's on the phone with her, and he just finds out that she actually has a whole family situation,
Hmm.
and he's a side piece, and she says that he's the parenthesis. He's a parenthesis.
Hmm.
To me, that's like it's almost like dehumanizing. It's like not only are you the side piece, but you're not even like a sentence in my story. You're a parenthesis. You're like a pause. And like there's this whole extended
Mhm.
scene that's like in a special features where he actually like in Omaha after being grounded, he buys this like nice condo and sets it up because she's going to come visit him, and so he has this like nice condo and makes two keys before he finds out what's going to happen, and it just makes the whole thing even worse because he started like molding his whole life around the idea of her. He finally has something potentially worth putting in the backpack, and
Yep.
just
Yep.
gets obliterated by that line. You are a parenthesis.
Yeah, and that you could tell that hit him. And then really towards the end of the movie, it's just kind of like we're back in square one, right? Like there's not a whole lot of, I mean, there's growth, but there's not growth, right?
It's below square one. So
Okay.
this is even worse than his square one to me. To me.
Okay.
I don't know, but
No,
so go ahead
go
with
ahead. No,
your
that was
slices.
it.
So you got to give me
6.5.
your slices. So 6.5.
6.5 slices. I would say 6.5. And I'm only being, I was going to say 7, but I know you guys are all going to come in like hot next week with my pick, as you always do, and give me some low slices. So I lowered it half a slice.
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah. So as far as I go, this is one of my most favorite movies because I live this life. Back in 2007 or something. When did I start at my other career? 2000. I don't know. A while ago,
Hmm.
2017 or something like that. I started flying around the country doing engineering jobs and things like that. And I was married with a family, 2 kids, house, everything, dog, 2 cats, and 1.5 cars. I don't know what do you call it, but the traditional American life. Uprooted to become a mobile warrior, and I lived that life for a while, and I fell into it, man. I fell into it hard. My personal life kind of got blown up, with divorce and everything, and trying to navigate that whole thing. And I found this movie, and I really fell into it. What do you carry in your backpack? So I found myself living in a bachelor single bedroom apartment for the longest time, keeping my expenses low, not having a lot of things in there, and just living life because I had to. Right there's nothing
Hmm.
at home. So when Ryan Bingham, starts out, he starts out as a really successful guy, but is he successful? No, because as you see, his personal life is trash. There's nothing going on. There's nobody there for him. He has family, but he's pushed them off to the side, like his sister and whatnot. And that whole Minnesota type scene there. What was it? You know,
Yeah, the Wisconsin wedding.
Wisconsin wedding scene. Yeah. So, during the thing, Ryan, like we talked about, brings on Anna. Anna's trying to do this teleconference thing. And what you said about Whitman there with his 2 kids, stole the scene and like changed the whole course of the video conferencing thing. And basically, this one person tells her that he's going to commit suicide. He's going to go jump off a bridge. And they
Oh, I
do
completely forgot about that part. Yeah, that was like heartbreaking as well.
because there's nothing more cold than getting broken up with over teleconference or the
Right.
phone or whatever for a job or for something that
Anything, man. I didn't even think about it in that direction. We've all been broken up with
yeah,
over a text message too.
yeah. But if you've dedicated, 30 years or 20 years. These people are like retirees almost. You
Sure.
dedicated 20 years of your life to a company just to be cold-heartedly brought in by a third-party agency to terminate you. Cold. Just
Hmm.
see ya. And try to make you not shoot up their office is basically what the whole deal is.
Hmm.
And it really, really resonated with me because, we were going into a different era where COVID was just about to hit and everything. And I'm traveling at my biggest, and all of a sudden COVID hits, and I'm stuck home in a one-bedroom apartment, just like Bingham when he got grounded. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't have anything. My life is it's amazing. People see, oh, he's traveling here doing that, but at the end of the day, I come home to a one-bedroom apartment alone. And my philosophy was always, carry as light as you can so you can go out everywhere. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really work out all that well. So I really enjoyed seeing Bingham realize that kind of and come to the conclusion that, wow, he has to go to his sister's wedding and he really needs a plus one. So he's going to bring this girl with him. And then, like you said, Adam decides to build this life. And all of a sudden it's torn away in one horrible quote. One quote. And I've been there, so I get it. And it's an interesting movie. It's full of one-liners too. One of his things is one of his speeches, anyone who has ever built an empire or changed the world sat where you are sitting now, and because they sat there is why they were able to do it. Just to basically give you false, what do you call it? False hope.
Sense of
Oh, yeah.
security
yeah.
or hope. Yeah.
Yep. So I really, really enjoyed that. But the movie itself is really cool because it ends on the saying, you view if you look up above and you see the flash of a bulb or wingtip, and that's me
Yeah.
or something like that. I try to remember the quote specifically, but it really resonated with me. So this movie is really near and dear to my heart. So it's at least an 8.5 just because of that.
Just resonates.
Yeah, it's 100%. Just like last week's movie did too. It's very, or not last week's movie, the week before, your movie, Adam.
Yeah.
So yep. Yeah, so
Um,
that's my
yeah,
thing.
and you brought up the ending, Rob, and like you guys were talking about it potentially being like he's worse off than when he started. And I actually like the ending to me is a bit more ambiguous. I don't think he's necessarily worse than when he started. I think that realization that life could be better. He says it to save his sister's marriage, where he's like, life's better with company, or life's better. Like, he realized that having someone there, like experiencing that, even though he got completely devastated. So to me, it's like he's sitting in front of that destination board and they show him letting go of his suitcase. Like, it's an intentional shot. He lets go of the handle,
I did see that. Yeah.
and
Yep.
so it's almost like he's letting go, and there's like this opening to the possibilities. Because earlier in the scene, Anna Kendrick's character is like, if I had that many miles, I would just go to the airport, look up at the destination screen, and just, pick something. And it's almost like a throwback to that earlier quote, because he's standing in front of the big board, and like it's like this idea, he could go anywhere,
Hmm.
but he can go anywhere, but for the end thing that they're leaving you with is like, so if you can go anywhere, if you could pick anything, what are you going to pick? Is he going to pick this life of being on the road constantly and being detached from relationships still, or is he going to choose, to be around his family a bit more because he had that moment with them, and even though he got devastated, is he going to try to find somebody more? It's like you don't know which way he's going to go, but the openness, the possibilities are endless in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. It was a great. I'm sorry, Epic. Did you have something else?
Well, yeah, I was just going to go into that whole travel anywhere thing, right? So I've lived that life too. I've actually gone to the airport and just said, where am I going today? And
Weird flex, but okay.
it's well, it's not a weird flex in the context of this movie, Rob, but it kind of like you go to the airport and you have all these miles, so it's like, where do you want to go? And you can travel the world, but really, what's like for me, it's my two kids back here at home, so that's where I want to go. That's not Spain or whatever. Where I forget where he was looking, Hawaii or something, right, or some weird place. But it's kind of like a metaphysical thing. Like you're trying to figure out, like, I don't know.
What's your purpose? What's your meaning?
Exactly. Because when you're going from point A to point B 24/7, like they tell you, yeah, you need to be in Cincinnati. So you get on a plane, go to Cincinnati, you come back. Oh, you need to be in Florida. Get on a plane, go to Florida, come back. That's your life. That's your being. That's your purpose. So, yeah, that's all.
Okay, yeah, they're great. It was a fun movie. I appreciate you finally driving me to actually watch the movie. I'll be interested to bully Isaac into his thoughts when he comes back next week, and we'll put him on the spot to see if he really watched it or not. Adam, I'd like you to stick around for a couple minutes after the podcast because I need your help with something, if we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Of course, you stick around too, Epic. But other than that, yeah, next week is going to be one of my picks, and then I think we're going into one of Adam's picks after mine, correct? Because we've gone through.
I think it's Isaac, right?
No, Isaac just did his. His was we did his last week, the Smoking Barrels one.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do mine, which you guys will love, I'm sure, and then we'll do Adam's to kind of pick you up after mine, and then we will. We got the next week's main episode, which is going to be a good one. And that's about it. So as always, be kind to yourselves, each other, and your insides, because Pizza After Midnight's a young man's game. Later.